space, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
Earth 494. Your universe. More should I say, your pathetic universe where everything is just normal. People go around as normal. Things just seem to happen that were boring. But on Earth 191, after a little bit of tweaking, things got exciting. Conte went to Manchester United. Ronaldo went to Manchester City. Ben Mee permanently managed Burnley. And Wayne Rooney went to Everton. This is a universe worth looking at. So, let's get to the end of the first season. So, at the end of season 1, Manchester City won the Premier League with Cristiano Ronaldo, who managed to notch up 19 goals in the season. Ben Mee's Burnley managed to avoid relegation by 3 points, with Brighton, Brentford and Norwich all going down to the Championship. Everton managed to finish in 9th. Wayne Rooney maybe not getting up to the best of starts, but also not having the most terrible of times. And Antonio Conte managing to get Europe with Manchester United, but missing out by 11 points on the Champions League. So let's look in more detail at their seasons. Well, Ben Mee's Burnley got knocked out in the Carabao Cup second round and got knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup, with the second half of Ben Mee's season, especially after the FA Cup 3rd round, only getting 2 victories, which meant their first half of the season getting those illustrious points was vital for them. Everton ended up sacking Wayne Rooney after only just 152 days, leaving them in peril at the start of December with only a 33% win percentage, and since then Sean Dyche has taken over, notching up a 50% win percentage. If you look at Wayne Rooney's time at Everton, he managed to get them into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, but didn't actually manage to get them any further, as he got sacked after their 4-0 loss to Chelsea. Their string of defeats, Southampton, Tottenham, West Ham and Chelsea, was what cost Wayne Rooney his job. He didn't have the most terrible of times, but he didn't manage to notch up too many victories, with a lot of draws under his belt. Since Wayne Rooney's departure though, it has been very, very good for Everton, getting through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup and then losing on penalties to West Ham United, and losing on penalties in the FA Cup 5th round to Southampton. They did manage to get many, many victories under their belt, which managed to get them into the top half of the Premier League. Antonio Conte's Manchester United side lost in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup to Southampton, lost in the 3rd round of the FA Cup to West Ham, but did manage to get through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, where they ended up losing to Chelsea. Their season as a whole wasn't their most successful, however, it wasn't a disappointing one, especially with their run in the Champions League. As for Man City, they lost in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But they did go on a hell of a run at the end of the season to make sure to secure that title. But how did Cristiano Ronaldo do in particular? Well, Cristiano Ronaldo managed to notch up 19 goals and 1 assist in 31 appearances in the Premier League with a 7.28 average rating. And overall, he managed to get 22 goals and 1 assist in 32 starts for the club, notching up a 7.19 average rating. And for those of you wondering, Wayne Rooney has not managed to secure himself a job since his departure from Everton. So as we head into the 2nd season, can Wayne Rooney find himself a job? Can Cristiano Ronaldo continue to get success at Manchester City? Can Antonio Conte get some success at United? And can Ben Mee keep Burnley in the Premier League? Let's see, shall we? Well, Manchester City managed to win the league yet again, this time by 8 points. But the contributions of Cristiano Ronaldo weren't there like they were previously, with him not appearing on the goals, average rating, assists or player of the match award lists. As for Burnley, they managed to avoid relegation yet again, this time by 11 points. It wasn't even close, with Fulham, Sheffield United and West Brom going back down to the Championship. As for Manchester United, they managed to finish in 7th in the Premier League and got through to the Europa League yet again, with Everton also qualifying for the Europa League. Starting off with the champions, they didn't notch up a loss on their record to the 15th of October. It was a very, very successful start to the season, with obviously the World Cup in the middle. They managed to win the Carabao Cup against Arsenal, but lost in the 3rd round of the FA Cup to Chelsea, and they managed to win the Champions League, this time against Chelsea. But what were Ronaldo's contributions like? This season, Cristiano Ronaldo managed to get 3 goals and 2 assists in 19 appearances, notching up a 7.05 average rating, and overall got 7 goals and 2 assists in 21 starts for the club, notching up a 7.07 average rating. So Cristiano Ronaldo is not as prevalent to the Manchester City side like he was last season. For Antonio Conte's Manchester United, they lost in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, and in the FA Cup they managed to win the FA Cup against Arsenal. Arsenal missing out twice on the 2 domestic competitions, losing the final twice. But Manchester United did lose in the quarterfinals of the Europa League to Seville. For Burnley, they got knocked out in the Carabao Cup 4th round in what was a torrid October month for the club. After the World Cup, though, they did manage to get themselves on track in the FA Cup and got to the FA Cup 5th round. But yet again, it was during a torrid time for the club. But they did just enough over the course of the entire season to stay in the Premier League. As for Wayne Rooney, he is still unemployed. But could that change as we head into the 3rd season? Can Wayne Rooney finally find a job after his disappointing time at Everton? Can Antonio Conte continue to win competitions with Manchester United? Will this be the end of Cristiano Ronaldo's time as a professional footballer? And can Ben Mee not only keep his job but keep Burnley in the Premier League? Let's see, shall we? So Manchester City managed to win the Premier League yet again by 19 points, only notching up 1 loss, and that was to Arsenal in the Premier League. Burnley managed to keep their place in the Premier League, and Manchester United managed to qualify for the Champions League. Well, it's disappointment at Burnley as Ben Mee ended up being sacked with Nuno as his replacement. After 2.5 years at the club, Ben Mee eventually departed on Boxing Day of all times in the year, and since then Ben Mee has been unable to find another job. Ben Mee's loss to Chelsea ended up being his final game in charge, and before then he only notched up 2 victories in the season, which was far from good enough, especially when Burnley wanted to maintain their place in the Premier League. Since Ben Mee's departure though, it did get better with some victories in other competitions, getting to the 4th round replay against Arsenal after suffering a 2nd round defeat in the Carabao Cup to Aston Villa, and their run towards the end of the season, not losing any of their final 7 games and notching up 4 victories, managed to keep them in the Premier League. As for Manchester United, there was another sacking after 2.5 years of Antonio Conte getting them a Community Shield and an FA Cup and a 50% win percentage. It was not good enough for him to keep his job, and Luis Enrique managed to take over from him, with the game on the 2nd of December being Conte's final one in charge, which was the 2-0 loss to Manchester City. He had done very well up to that point during the season. There was a bit of difficulty at the start of the season in September, but he did manage to pick it up, but that loss to City was just enough to tip it over the edge. Since his departure though, they went on a massive run. They managed to get to the 5th round of the FA Cup and managed to win the Europa League with Luis Enrique in charge. Since then though, Antonio Conte has gone to Porto. We can't see the full league table for the Portuguese Premier League, but he did manage to win the league with Porto and get them back on top of Portuguese football. As for Manchester City, they got to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, losing on penalties to Leeds, and they managed to win the FA Cup and the Champions League. It was an incredible season for Manchester City. But was Ronaldo a part of it? Well, in Ronaldo's final year as a professional footballer, he managed to notch up 11 goals in 16 appearances in the Premier League, notching up a 7.42 average rating. And in all competitions, he got 12 goals and 1 assist in 16 starts for Manchester City, notching up a 7.35 average rating. And what a way to go out as a legend in the footballing world. As for Wayne Rooney, he did manage to get a new job, this time with MK Dons, but was sacked on the 4th of November and had barely any time in the job whatsoever, only having 143 days at the club. That meant that the 1-0 loss to Peterborough ended up being his final game in charge, as they lost in the 1st round of the Carabao Cup to Oxford. And in the 2 games that they played in the Papa John's Trophy, they lost to the West Ham's under-23s, but beat Exeter. But all of that wasn't enough to keep him in the job. So as we head into the 4th season, we're asking the same question yet again. Can Wayne Rooney get a job, but this time keep it? Can Antonio Conte continue his run with Porto and ensure them domestic glory? Can Ben Mee get himself a new job? And can Cristiano Ronaldo secure himself another job? Or is this the end of Cristiano Ronaldo in the footballing world? Let's see, shall we? So Manchester City managed to win the Premier League yet again, and it was disappointment this time for Burnley, who were relegated from the Premier League. It's about time. Ben Mee managed to keep him up for a very long time, but the new manager couldn't keep him up any longer. As for Everton, they're maintaining their mid-table position as per usual, and for Manchester United, they are in the Europa League and securing that 6th place. They just can't break into that top 4. For Ben Mee, he is still on unemployment. He hasn't managed to secure himself a new job since leaving Burnley as manager. For Wayne Rooney, he hasn't managed to secure himself a new job either, remaining unemployed, but is possibly wanted by Cambridge or Oxford. For Cristiano Ronaldo, there is no job here either. He is still unemployed, but that could possibly be what Cristiano Ronaldo wants. As for Conte, he left Porto as manager in that summer and took over as Southampton manager. So how did he get on? Well, Southampton managed to finish in 12th in the Premier League. They managed to get to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup where they lost on penalties to Leicester City. And in the FA Cup, they lost in the 4th round to Watford, but unfortunately lost in the Europa Conference League 2nd knockout round to Fenerbahce. So it ended up not being the most successful season for Antonio Conte, but he will be able to build on it in the 5th and final season as they take you there before the fabrics of realities begin to break, as if they're not already. For Ben Mee, Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo, it's all about can they get a job for this final season? Or will they just remain unemployed? Let's see, shall we? Finally, Manchester City's reign as champions of England is over as Liverpool beat them by 12 points to the title, with Manchester United finally creeping into that top 4. Everton manages to secure themselves some Europa League football, and in the Championship, Burnley managed to win the league and win promotion back to the Premier League. And at Southampton, Antonio Conte managed to finish in 8th, just 3 goals behind 7th, where Newcastle finished in that Europa Conference League spot. In other competitions though, Southampton lost in the Carabao Cup 3rd round to Leicester City. In the FA Cup, they lost in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup to Aston Villa in extra time. Heartbreak. Well, Ben Mee did manage to get another job, but it wasn't a managerial one. It was a coaching opportunity at Charlton, and he took it. And he managed to help Charlton secure themselves a 17th placed position in League One. Wayne Rooney managed to secure himself a job too, this time at Exeter, where he managed to get them to 23rd in League One. He took over towards the end of the season in the latter half as he joined on the 1st of January after the sacking of Michael Carrick, a former Manchester United player himself. And you can see why, as there were loss after loss at the start of the season, which did not spell a good time for them, especially during that December period. And then if you look at the latter half, there wasn't many wins either, but there was a lot more points picked up, a lot more tight victories, and that form towards the end of the season could possibly give them hope as they head into League 2 and a possible chance to get back to League 1. As for Ronaldo, he is still unemployed and quite clearly doesn't want to be in football any longer. So that brings an end to the journey I have taken you on. Wasn't this world far more exciting? People keep warning me. They keep warning me up there that something bad's gonna happen. But it never does. Nothing bad ever happens when I take you on these journeys. I will forever take you on these journeys. These journeys will never end. This universe, these universes are mine, and nothing can stop me.
9, 8, 7,
Wait.
6, 5,
Do you hear that?
3, 2, 1.
What the fuck? This is not the end. I will return.